Good morning, and we're live. All right, back to streaming some Xamarin work. So we'll take a step back today, and I think we're going to do a tutorial or two. Um, just before we do this one, though, this is the Getting Started First app. You could find it on docs.microsoft.com. Just before we get started, I do want to show you guys something I worked out offline the other day with one of the errors we were getting. So let me just show you that real quick. It's also be a good chance to review what we were working on before. So I'll use our first app, Daily Goals, instead of the Goals one. This was created with Visual Studio 2019 Mac, but I'm running it in JetBrains Writer. I just think this UI is better put together. It's loading up the solution for us. Now, two problems we had, or three problems we had, I guess, was we couldn't run the UI test for Android or iOS, and we couldn't run the Android app. I think at one point it was running, but it was like a blank screen or something like that. So I got the Android app running, and let me show you that. It actually has a full UI and everything. And the workaround I found through some Stack Overflow searching online, very useful, of course. All right, so this is updating indices, not quite ready to run. Let's try again. All right, there it goes. Should launch our emulator. It ended up, see, here we go. This is the Android version. You can add, oh, this is already running from the other day. It's going to relaunch. But it just shows you that you can go ahead and add a new item named, wow, with the description. It actually, oh, I don't like how it doesn't clear your text. Bad UI design, bad UX UI. Okay. Really slow. But here we go. Saving. I think it's still trying to install over this one. Did that actually save? It looked kind of glitchy, right? Like it kind of animated down like it saved, but then it's still here. So sad. All right, anyways, it's there. So how did I get it to work? Well, if you right click on one of the projects, so the Android project in this case, there are some properties you can set. So one of those properties, can I stop this? Mac is just chugging along. I have to lower the quality of the stream or something. Dropping 4.4% of the frames. Hopefully it looks okay to you guys. I'm still wired up with Ethernet, so stream should be pretty good. Yeah, it's locked up here. So basically what it was it was trying to do like incremental builds or something like that. And so I had to turn off a setting in properties. This is similar to an old issue I used to have with Android Studio, and I think the way it was resolving dependencies or whatever, it wouldn't work with instant run apps, instant run builds. So there was a setting in Android Studio where you could turn off instant build, and that I had to do that for a long time in Android Studio. I think they eventually resolved whatever issues it was having. In this case, the setting is something like that. It's not instant build, but I can't show it to you guys. This thing's locked up. But that was one of the issues. The other issues with the UI tests not running. So I was able to get a bit farther, but not quite resolve those as well. So one of the issues was, at least for the Android UI test, is that it doesn't know where to get the APK to install, which is kind of dumb. Like if you run an Android instrumented test, espresso test, Android Studio knows how to put the build on the emulator, and then it runs the tests off the emulator with that build. But for some reason, I don't know exactly how these UI tests work, at least the ones out of the box that we got from the Visual Studio um, project creator. But I had to point it to the APK file. So instead of just calling start app, I called android.apk file and then start app. That seemed to resolve the first error. The next error I'm getting now, though, and I wish I could show you, but this thing really is locked up, has to do with something to do with the JDK and one of the tools in the JDK for deploying the build or signing the build. I think it's something to do with signing the build is giving some obscure error, and I was not able to resolve that one. Now, in the case of iOS, I didn't get very far in this one, but I think it was a similar issue. I think I had to point it to the simulator, but this actually did not work. Still could not find the app. So this is definitely something I'm going to put a pin in it and come back to it at some point. I'm more interested in unit tests, like I said from the very beginning, than UI tests anyways. So we'll come back to not this project probably, or we'll make a new version of Daily Goals. But first I want to go back to basics. I want to do some Xamarin Forms tutorials, just so we can fill in some of the gaps here. There's some obvious things that we should know that we do not know. So to get started, let's do this first app. It's a very basic app. You can watch their video actually here. It's 5 minutes long. We'll do it in about the same amount of time probably. They're showing me how to do it with Visual Studio for Mac. You could also use the IDEs for Windows. But basically, they want you to create a new blank forms app, which is kind of like our goals app. So what I'll do is I will kill this app, kill Writer. It really did lock up. And launch it again. For some reason it always launches on my other screen. I'll drag it over once it's draggable. Here we go. So, new solution. They said blank forms app. Let's see if we have something similar to that in Writer. I'm sure we do. So Xamarin library or app. We want app. And where's blank form? Cross-platform, Xamarin Forms, .NET Standard. I think project template, maybe? No? Yeah, see, they don't seem to have the example projects that you get with Visual Studio, unless I'm just not seeing it. But that's fine. I know that the project it creates is actually the blank forms, or at least seems like the blank forms one. So I'll go ahead and put this in a different folder. Don't want it in this folder. We'll call it the first app tutorial. Cool. And yeah, I think all the rest of the settings should be fine. Let's go ahead and create that. Going back to the tutorial here, it says ensure Android and iOS are selected. Yes, we had both of those by default. And then they tell you one of the first things you should do is restore the NuGet packages. So we didn't do this before. I wonder if that's important. I know that we had an outdated library. Would solve it. That's probably what the update does. But let's go ahead and try restore and see if that matters. I think in default, because if you look down here, it's downloading some AARs. So it's actually getting the dependencies already, which is what NuGet's used for. Manages your dependencies. Actually downloads the binaries for different dependencies. So did that finish? Yep, downloaded 3 files. So let's try it anyways though. It says to click on the top app here, so first app, right click, and there should be something for NuGet. There we go, reload. We don't have a restore, but reload. Pretty sure that's the same thing, but in JetBrains terminology. And then you can see down here it is downloading looks like probably the same AARs that it had downloaded when it first launched, or unless this following were downloaded. So probably not re-downloading them, even though you think reload would. Maybe it was just fast. Let me try one more time. It doesn't seem to do anything. Except maybe lock up. There it goes. Download one file. Which file? Android plugin resources. Okay. Well, maybe it does do something. Alright, well, that's to make sure we have the dependencies we expect. Is the video chopping out? Hopefully not. Okay, looks like it's back. Next up, launch Android emulator by pressing the debug button or run start debugging. And they want me to run that. Yeah, because it's defaulted to Android. Cool. So while that's running, over here, I will see about the next step. You could follow along on their website, but I'll just do what it says here. It says go to the under. Does it say under Android? Doesn't say. Maybe it's this main one here. Yeah, this one. Under here, there's a main page XAML file. So you want me to open that up. And before the end of the stack layout, it says, so this is the stack layout tag here. Nested inside is a label, and the label should say, welcome to Xamarin Forms. It should be centered horizontally and centered and expanded vertically. So once it launches, we should see that label there. And a label is just, a text box that you can't edit. So, install selected projects. This is where I think it froze on the last build, on the last project. So hopefully it does not repeat itself and freeze there again. Just went home on the emulator. Don't lock up, don't lock up. Looks like it's doing something. What step is it on? Let's read this. Doing some zip stuff. Error, deployment failed. See deployment output for details. Uh-oh. No. Alright, deployment failed. Alright, okay, so this is cool. Permission denied. This is the error I was talking about, guys. I believe this is the error I was talking about. So I can actually fix it here on this project for you to show you how I got around that. So if you go to right-click Android Properties, and then I think under, where is it? Debug? Use incremental Android packing system, apt2. So for whatever reason, I don't know if it's that one. Actually, no, it's not that one. I think it's the use shared model runtime, use fast. Now I can't remember which one it was. Maybe it wasn't these ones. I think I experimented with these to see if it fixed some of the other errors. But you know what? I think it might have been fast assembly deployment. I don't know. You could Google this error and you'd probably find the Stack Overflow that I found. Let's try this one. Honestly, can't remember which one it was. Yeah, I was doing a lot of troubleshooting the other day, trying to work that out. So I disabled use fast assembly deployment. I want to see if that fixes it. Error, running deployment failed. See deployment output. So that's the previous error. It still tells you that. Funny that that was the fast deployment. It's actually kind of slow. Maybe because of the issues. I don't know. Let's see how fast this is with that unchecked. I swear to you guys, this is a fast Mac. I do not know why it's so slow. Sorry if the video is choppy. I might edit the stream or lower the stream quality for the next one if it is. Let me know in the comments. Just any tips you guys have for these streams, any way I can make them better for you guys. Any questions, anything you want me to focus on or answer, let me know in those comments. Also like and subscribe because it's a YouTube channel and that's what you're supposed to say. Install selected project. So let's just look at the rest of this tutorial while we wait for that. Yeah, so the next thing they're going to want us to do is add a new button to that main page. Now, anything you add to the main page should be added to both Android and iOS. That's what's awesome about Xamarin, right? And you don't need to know what UI is actually going to be used on the Android or iOS side. You just use this XAML button, and that should work for both. It knows under the hood how to wire up the actual, native UI. Or again, this is Forms, so I want to look more into that. It might not be native. Like I said, it might be running on some kind of runner. Got to figure that one out. Either way, it's going to be shared tag here for both projects. And then next up, they're just doing some kind of hacky code here to count how many times you click that button. It's just a little function called handle clicked. Looks like that handle clicked is automatically wired up to the button. Okay, right here. It's wired up here in the tag for the button. That it says clicked equals handle clicked. So you just put the function in there, and that should be good enough to wire it up. Still loading the project on the other screen. So next, after you do that, so when you click it, it will set a increment a counter here. So it starts out at 0, click it once, should say 1. Now they want to actually change the text of the button, it looks like. Button named sender. I don't know where they got that name though. Oh, I see. They're passing it in. So the way this click handler works is it passes in an instance of the object. So in this case, it's a button. So that's why you see it being casted here. This is a caster because it comes in as an object. You don't know if you're handling a click of a button or the click of an image. Some images can be clickable. So they just pass this API passes it in as an object, and then you cast it to a button. So once you have the button casted there, you can access the text attributes and set it. So you just set it here. Now this has the syntax here with the $sign because they're actually inserting a variable. So the way it works is you wrap the whole thing in strings and prefix it with a $sign. Make sure you guys can see this. Prefix it with a $sign, and then the actual variable is in curly brackets in the middle of the text. And it should be different color to let you know that. And this is not Kotlin, so we do need semicolons. We're back to semicolons, guys. All right, and so that will say you clicked X amount of times, whatever X is, and then they want you to run it again and test it. They want you to do the same thing for iOS. Let me just show you that. So for iOS, set as the startup project. That's cool. Okay, instead of using the drop downs, and then debug that, and that also has a click me button. I was gonna say, where's the button? But it's an iOS button, so it just looks like text down here at the bottom, right here, and it should update this text, I believe. Or actually, no, it should update the text of the button, because remember, it's changing the text on the sender object. All right, so that's the simple first app that they want you to build. For some reason, this thing is locked up again. Very disappointed in this. Let's relaunch it. I have a feeling it has something to do with the live stream. So yeah, hopefully switching quality from 4K down. I don't know, we'll try a 1080p or something. Hopefully that will fix these errors on our next stream. Okay, we're back. Loader. Yeah, really lagging here. Sorry, guys. Okay, first app. So this is the kind of things I want to learn from these tutorials, like stack layout, for example, is a XAML, a Xamarin form specific layout element. I wouldn't know I wouldn't know to use this, right? So that's the kind of the API or whatever we need to learn that syntax. So that's why we're doing some of these tutorials. But we'll get back to our custom app in a bit, a couple streams or so. Let's just get a few of these starter tutorials under our belt just to get familiar with things. So running the Android build again. Hopefully this one works out. It's not frozen. Oh, maybe it is. Well, that sucks. So far having a lot of like really annoying problems getting started with Xamarin on a Mac. Might be worth switching over to a PC if it just keeps being hell like this. I wonder if Visual Studio 2019 for Mac would actually get past this part. Or if it's a resource thing. I'm really not sure. So I want an app, blank form, next. Call this first app number 2. All right. Cloud robots. I don't know if I like the S or not. Cloud robot or cloud robots. Let me know in the comments. What should I? Should I keep the S? Let's see. First app. Touch. Yeah, we'll do another one. Then create this. I'll let Writer run in the background. Maybe we'll recover. Is there any way to see on a Mac like how many resources an app is taking? Like, see, it doesn't say. It doesn't even say it's locked up. Doesn't say it's doing anything, but nothing I click here works. We're going to get that same error though, so let me adjust the properties here. Options maybe on this one. Yeah, it looks right. Android builds. Alright, so it was fast assembly deployment. So this tells us a bit more about what that's trying to do. It creates a package without assemblies and deploys assemblies directly to the device, improves redeployment speed after code changes, requires debugging to be enabled. So yeah, we don't really need that. That's just a development thing. It's supposed to speed you up, but obviously it has problems. I don't know if it's just on Mac or what. So turning that off should be good enough. This is defaulted to Android, so if we run it, let's see what we get. Where is, I can't do a search like that. Where is the main page? main page XAML in the, is it under property assets, resources? I think it'd be under layouts, not there. Main page XAML. Oh, because I'm under Android. Duh. Okay, here it is. Hmm. I thought this had a hello message. Oh, it has a learn more at formatted string. This created a totally different. You know what? I bet it's because we didn't do that update thing. So let's do. What was it called again? Restore. NuGet. Manage NuGet packages. Yeah, they said right click the app. Oh, okay, it's supposed to be this one. And restart NuGet packages. But yeah, this is different than what we got out of the Writer one. It has a few different labels, and for whatever reason, probably because it's the old Xamarin Forms, it doesn't actually display anything on Android. So it's that old problem we used to get. And Writer here, still deadlocked. Can you believe that? What garbage is this, man? Right, I don't know if that NuGet stuff is done, but let's check the packages. No, it says so there's an update here. Let's open. Yeah, let's update this. See, this does not try to go to the pre-alpha 5.0 or whatever version that Writer does. It just goes to 4.8. And same thing with this one. Alright, so that one updated. Now if I run it, maybe it'll actually display some UI. Let's see. Fingers crossed, guys. Where's the build output? I know I moved the window at some point. Deploying to device. So dang slow. Some updates here. Maybe we'd have better luck with Visual Studio for Mac 8.8. Let's install that in a bit. Maybe that's gonna save us their latest update. I hope so. Yeah, it's blank. It's pretty garbage that they're their Visual Studio Code for Mac just creates a project that does not actually work. I wonder if the update fixes that. That's really sad. Um, what's weird though is I thought when I opened up in Writer, it actually did display the UI. So I don't know what's going on here, but let's do that update. And while that updates, yeah, I'm curious here. So if I launched the project I just created in Visual Studio Code in Writer, does it actually show the UI? If it does, then I wonder if I open it back up in Visual Studio Code if it would work. Like maybe Writer is downloading some dependency or upgrading something. I don't know. Maybe it's doing some configuration that fixes the project because it just doesn't make sense. Oh, .NET SDK 5 is not fully supported in Writer. Some IDE features may not work. So yeah, the project it created for us is old. Well, good thing we're updating Visual Studio Code for Mac. Sorry, just realized I was muted. I was saying, if you look at the activity monitor here, the CPU is just outrageously overloaded. So I'm going to lower my stream quality and try again, because this this project just keeps freezing in Writer. So let me do that.